Paraguay, 2017. A heist that would go down as one of the bloodiest in Latin America. Sergio Gomez was not a legend of the underworld. To his people, he was the man with a cold stare, a quiet presence that unsettled more than shouting ever could. He kept his voice low, but everyone knew he was a cartel man. Ciudad del Este carried on like any other day. Shops opened, tourists hunted for cheap electronics, families rushed through the streets. No one suspected that just a few blocks away, a plan worth millions was taking shape. Inside a small house on the city's edge, Gomez and his crew gathered. They didn't look like criminals. Clean clothes, quiet talk, the picture of normal neighbors. But behind those doors, maps of roads, photos of armored trucks, weapons lined up and ready. The team wasn't random. A former soldier who knew how to fight in the streets. A driver who could handle a van at full speed. 2 enforcers who would shoot first if needed. And 1 insider who knew the Banco Central's cash transport schedule. For them, this wasn't just theft. This was an order from the cartel. Refusal wasn't an option. Sergio's voice cut the silence. We get 1 shot. No mistakes. Each man understood. There would be no turning back. Some dreamed of money. Others of status. All of them knew. The cartel demanded results. On the surface, the city looked calm. But beneath it, the clock was already ticking. The idea didn't start with Gomez. It came from above, whispered down through cartel channels. Banco Central was moving millions in a single armored van. For the bosses, it was too tempting to ignore. For Gomez, it was a command he couldn't refuse. The blueprint was simple on paper, impossible in reality. Stop the armored truck. Neutralize the guards. Take the cash. Disappear before the police or military could react. Planning took weeks. Every street, every turn of the route was studied. They timed the truck stops, the distance between checkpoints, even the minutes when traffic slowed at intersections. The insider fed them details. The model of the van, the number of guards, their weapons, even which day the shipment would be heavier than usual. Weapons came from cartel stockpiles across the border. Rifles, handguns, explosives. Nothing subtle. Gomez wanted overwhelming force, the kind that crushed resistance in seconds. The former soldier laid out the tactics. He mapped escape routes, fallback positions, and the timing for every move. His words were sharp, drilled like orders in the field. The driver rehearsed the turns over and over, memorizing the streets, the hidden alleys, the wide avenues where he could push the engine to its limits. Tension rose as the day neared. Some smoked non-stop. Others barely spoke. But when they sat together, silence wasn't doubt. It was focus. The risk was clear. If they failed, they wouldn't just lose money. They'd lose their lives, either to the police or to the cartel itself. Sergio repeated one line, like a mantra before battle. We take it fast. We take it clean. No second chances. The plan was ready. Now all that was left was the execution. Dawn broke over Ciudad del Este, but for Gomez and his crew, it was already showtime. The armored truck rolled out, heavy with cash, its steel shell meant to be untouchable. The crew moved into position. 2 cars trailed the van from a distance, keeping it in sight. Another blocked traffic at a key intersection. The driver gripped the wheel, waiting for Sergio's signal. At the exact moment the van slowed, the trap snapped shut. A stolen SUV cut across the road, slamming to a stop in front of the armored truck. Tires screamed. Metal clashed. Before the guards inside could react, gunfire erupted. The former soldier and enforcers pinned them down, rounds tearing into the armored glass. The city's morning calm shattered in seconds. Pedestrians scattered. Shops slammed their doors. The guards tried to return fire, but the attackers' weapons were heavier, louder, relentless. Gomez moved with precision. He didn't shout, didn't flinch. He gave orders like he was calling plays in a game already decided. Explosives were placed against the side of the van. The blast ripped through steel, filling the street with smoke and dust. The rear doors buckled. Inside, bags of cash stacked, ready. The driver jumped in, engine roaring, as the others hauled the money out. Bundles tossed into waiting vehicles, hands moving faster than thought. But the clock was against them. Sirens were already wailing. Somewhere close, police engines revved. Sergio raised his voice once. "Move. Now." Engines screamed. Tires tore into asphalt. The convoy split in two, cash-loaded cars disappearing into the maze of streets. Behind them, the armored truck lay torn open, guards wounded, the city stunned. The heist was in motion. And so was the storm that would follow. At first it felt like victory. Millions stuffed into bags. Engines carrying them away from the smoking wreck. But cracks showed sooner than anyone expected. One car hit unexpected traffic. A routine checkpoint, just local police, not yet alerted. But the officer's eyes lingered too long on the nervous driver. A standoff almost began before the soldier shoved a rifle out the window. The cops backed off, but the delay cost them precious minutes. Another problem. One of the getaway cars stalled at an intersection. The driver panicked, grinding gears while cash bags piled in the back. Gomez's voice exploded over the radio. "Leave it. Leave the car." They dumped half a fortune on the roadside just to keep moving. And then came the blood. A guard who wasn't supposed to be alive fired from the ground, hitting one of the crew in the leg. Chaos erupted. The team dragged him into the car, but he was bleeding fast. The city was no longer blind. Sirens converged. Roadblocks snapped into place. Helicopters rose into the sky. Inside the cars, tempers boiled. The soldier barked orders, trying to keep formation. The driver cursed, swerving through alleys. The wounded man groaned, clutching money soaked in his blood. Gomez sat stone-faced, staring ahead. He knew what the others didn't dare to say out loud. Every mistake, every delay, meant the walls were closing in. The heist wasn't over. The real fight had just begun. Within hours, the city looked like a war zone. Police convoys tore through the streets, checkpoints went up on every road, and helicopters circled overhead. News reports called it a battle in broad daylight. Gomez and the crew split in different directions, hoping confusion would shield them. Some crossed into rural roads, others hid in warehouses near the border. The money, scattered in pieces, hidden in safe houses, smuggled across in crates. But hiding millions isn't easy. Word spread fast. Locals whispered. Neighbors saw strange movements. Every rumor led the police closer. The wounded man was their first weakness. He needed treatment, and the cartel didn't want loose ends. By nightfall he was gone, silenced before he could talk. Investigators worked around the clock. Ballistics matched cartel weapons. Cameras caught blurred images of vehicles. Witnesses described men in masks, heavy rifles, explosions. Step by step, the circle tightened. One driver was caught days later. He cracked under pressure, spilling details about routes and hideouts. Raids followed, gunfights on farms, arrests in back alleys. Cash bundles were recovered, stained with dirt and blood. The cartel's message was clear. Bring the money back, or don't come back at all. Gomez felt the weight of two hunts, one from the police, one from his own people. Trust collapsed. Some crew members vanished with their share. Others turned on each other. Every man was alone now, carrying not just stolen bills, but a death sentence on his back. Gomez still believed he could escape. But the net was already closing. The hunt ended faster than Gomez expected. Police tracked him through phone signals, traced safe houses, followed every slip the crew made under pressure. Within weeks, raids swept across Ciudad del Este and beyond. Some of the crew died in shootouts, refusing to surrender. Others were dragged out in handcuffs, their faces splashed across the news as trophies. Millions in cash were recovered, but not all of it. Large sums vanished into the shadows, never found. Gomez was captured at dawn. No shootout, no glory. Just a quiet arrest on a back road, his calm face lit by flashing sirens. For the cartel, his failure was unforgivable. Prison walls could not protect him forever. The heist itself became legend. The public called it the robbery of the century in Paraguay. Not because of what they stole, but because of the chaos it unleashed. What began as a clean, surgical strike turned into bloodshed, betrayal, and collapse. In the end, the armored truck was just steel and money. But for Gomez and his crew, it was the trigger that destroyed everything. One line echoed through the aftermath, repeated in newsrooms, police briefings, and whispered in bars. You can steal millions in seconds, But you can't outrun the consequences.